Are live at NAMM. Are we live now? I think we're live now. Day 2, NAMM, Nashville. City Center in Nashville. If you were with us yesterday, just behind the glass wall to our right here is the big show floor at Summer NAMM, and we've been hitting it hard all day. 2 different camera crews checking out new gear, guitars, amps, pedals, and doing not review demos. I'm losing it. NAMM on the brain.
It's been a long day.
We're doing just demo videos, and we've been streaming out some since it started yesterday. We'll have more coming tonight, but we just huddled to tell you guys our favorite things that we saw from the floor today. Anybody want to start? Or?
Oh boy, can I? Can I please?
And we'll remind people, this is only the second time that Bollinger has been to NAMM with us.
Yeah,
and,
I've been gone.
Blowing your mind, right?
Blowing my mind. I've been to NAMM in 6 years, so things have changed in 6 years. So yeah, a ton of great stuff. One thing, Kiesel and I shot Kiesel, which a lot of you might know is Carvin. Carvin became Kiesel.
Yeah, they sort of like separated it into amp and pro audio divisions, and then the guitars are now all Kiesel, right?
Yeah, and Carvin has been around since the 40s, right? I mean, like
something like that.
46. So this is one of the oldest American guitar companies. I mean, like electric guitar companies. They go way, way back. And it's cool. Jeff, the guy I talked to, is actually the son of the guy that founded it. And really innovative guy, and really coming up with some cool ideas. They had this deal where it's this neck-through body that is sustained but without the big block.
It's like one of the headless things.
No, not headless. No, more traditional. You know me.
Okay.
I'm not.
Well, you were talking about him before. You said you were going to use an 8-string on the next of the brass out, right?
Yeah. No, they have some pretty wild. In fact, that's what kind of surprised me, because I'm a more traditional guy, and they're not a very traditional company. They do a lot of kind of cutting edge.
Well, the new Kiesels are a lot of the like multi-scale, 7, 8, maybe 9-string guitars. Yeah, they still have the old school Carvin amps and stuff.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. So they make great stuff, and I was just really impressed. I was impressed with the workmanship, impressed with the wood, impressed with the design, and impressed with the idea that they're still coming up with new stuff, which for a company from the 40s to still be pushing it rather than resting on their laurels is pretty cool. So,
did you have a picture you wanted to show?
Damn it, I don't. Sorry.
No worries.
It's up here in my mind. Wait a minute, do we have that?
Protect it.
Yeah. Do we have that? Is that regrettably that technology is not yet here, but in my mind I can picture this kind of flame maple top and cool access. Anyway, watch the video. We filmed a video. That's cool. Yeah, better than that. Don't listen to me. Watch the video later on whenever it's downloaded.
I think the one thing that's cool about that company that is often forgotten is they're not in stores.
Yeah, right.
Order, they'll answer your phone call and you can start talking about guitars and order it. They're not in storefronts.
Direct order them.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, pretty good deals that way too.
Yeah, it's not a revolutionary idea, but it's unusual. I feel like in today's world, especially where so many of us crave to have the instrument or at least play it before we put down that kind of coin.
Yeah.
But the success rate, and Jeff was talking about, they have a 10 or 14 day guarantee. You get it, you don't like it, or if you want to change it, they'll do it money back, or they'll do anything. Cool. So it's cool. It's cool. Mantra.
It's cool that they've stuck to that for so long, because I'm sure there's been a lot of pressure to change along the way.
Yeah, because and he said, look, I don't want to build you a guitar and not have you love it. So if you get it and it's not what you wanted, send it back.
Cool.
So yeah, that was cool. And I like the fact that if you call the company, you're going to talk to some guitar geek like you or us or somebody that has a passion for it. It's a very cool musical company.
Cool. You want to go next?
Yes, I will. My pick is the Yazoo delicious. That's power.
I've heard that's good.
It is good. As far as guitar stuff, I did a demo today with James Santiago from Universal Audio. James has been around for a long time, noted tone wizard, and he showed me. Hold on a second here. He showed me this little retro-looking box on top of the amp there, and he calls it Ox, the amp top box. And what it is, let's see if I can explain this correctly. So basically, this sits between your amp and your speaker. So you plug your guitar into your amp as normal, and then it goes out of your amp into this box, out of this box into your speaker. And the controls on it, there's speaker volume, which that controls the sounds coming out of the amp's physical speaker. The line out, which you'll hear in the video, controls the level of that. Headphone controls that. And then there's this rig and room stuff. So the brown side of it here is like the analog side of it. And the other side here is kind of the digital side of it. In the video, you see he had because Universal Audio are known for how great their plugins are, their reverbs and mic emulators and that kind of stuff. And so with the rig knob, he was able to change settings on an iPad. So he would, run this vintage deluxe reverb through AC30 cabinet with 57 on it or whatever, or multiple mics and rooms. And
so like trying to combine old with a new, an actual vintage amp with the benefits of amp modeling.
Yeah, and the modeling more came on the side of the speaker cabinet emulation.
So is it a speaker simulator out?
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
so
cool,
you can run direct out of this box and just do headphones and run some UA plugins, whether it's reverb or mic or something. And so we had headphones on, and then we had the line out going to the camera. And
so
it was
XLR out or
TRS.
Okay.
TRS, yeah. So, and it was really, really stunning how it felt like a real amp, and you could because that deluxe in the video, it was dime deluxe, and then he was working through different settings on there, and my guess it really helped for recording situations because it's when we were doing that there was no sound unless you turned the speaker volume up. There was no sound.
There was nothing coming out of the deluxe cab.
Not unless you turn that speaker knob up. So and that's kind of like an attenuator, basically.
Oh, and you're using the speaker from the deluxe if you want it, or going direct out.
Or you can go direct out, and there's a line out level.
That's cool.
But kind of the point is taking the guts of the deluxe in that scenario and hearing it through an AC30 cab or something.
Yeah, with a Neumann U87 or something. You know what I mean?
But it's not supposed to be going through the guts of the AC30 or whatever.
No.
Okay.
Wow. So
and it was pretty stunningly. I hope it comes across in the video how it sounded like in our headphones. It was pretty stunning.
So what's that bad boy gonna set me back?
I think he said 1,200.
Oh. Okay.
You got that in your wallet,
I'm out. Yeah.
But it was really cool how they were able to kind of combine their library of various plugins, proprietary plugins, with a way to and I'm sure I can't say I've used products like that often, but I'm sure in bigger situations or studios there's probably a wealth of ways that in conjunction with the speaker and not conjunction and live and studio.
Right.
But it was the sound he was getting out of that deluxe through the iPad and not having a bit of sound come through that speaker, was pretty. It didn't sound like any other direct.
I walked by the booth and saw the box, and it looks really cool, but I didn't get to hear it. But when we were when Chris and I were at Mad Professor doing video of their new dual delay pedal, he was raving about the same thing. So he builds, it's not Harry from Mad Professor, who builds tube amps, was raving about the same thing. So it sounds pretty legit.
I think he said it's still a couple months away from being released, but if you're like a recording geek, probably is my guess that would really be of interest to, it's definitely worth checking out for sure.
Yeah, or for touring. I mean, that is the greatest challenge. Like, you ever, when your rig sounds great when you're standing in front of it, and then, sorry.
So I guess
Sean,
if you had like some
Sean,
cool
Turn up
amps,
that speaker, the attenuator's down too much.
Yeah.
so like if you were to use it on tour, you could have some like cool hip amp and run it out straight to front of house with the cab emulators and just have it on your ears.
Yeah, at least you would know.
Yeah.
You know, because so often, I don't know, you don't know. You know, you don't really know. Your amp sounds great behind.
And bonus, he had this amazing 1960 Stratocaster that we played in the demo. And
Well, that's
that was
cool.
fun.
You want to go, Keys? Or?
Sure. All right.
Chris, you look a little tired over there, buddy.
I'm tired, man. So, what was it?
Up a little bit. Up. The other up.
The other.
Yellow Cake. We went to Yellow Cake.
Oh, yeah.
Yellow Cake today, and they're primarily known for distortion or fuzz pedals. But Ryan came out with this thing called the Lida machine, which I tried to show up in that thing. It's up on our Facebook page. It's a VSF or resonant filter with 2 independent LFO controls. And the cool thing about it that I thought was not only is it designed obviously for guitar or bass, but there's a special input for additional synth modules, and he really expects keyboard players, like our own Luke Vertle, who plays keyboard quite a bit, was pretty jazzed about that idea. It was just, it had a lot to do, especially with the toggle switch. On the first toggle switch, you can go up the rate or slow, so either it trails slower as it goes, the decays, or I guess faster. And that was really cool. And there's just the manipulation that Ryan was doing as the demo guy was playing the guitar. It was a really cool thing. And of course, at the end, he kicked on the Furry Burrito in conjunction with the Lida machine, and that thing was gnarly. It was awesome. It was a really cool thing that I think people are going to get really into. And it's a fresh step. It's like he's over here, and then also his company took a left turn with a totally new stomp box. He's never done a delay, I don't think, or anything like that, or a modulation of any sort. So, direction and go that far in that direction was a cool step, I thought. And I hope people jump on it.
Yeah, what I that is that it would do a very convincing univibe, a convincing tremolo.
Some subtle effects when you could almost cop a chorus or like a
Leslie.
vibrato, but then when you get it really cranking on those controls, that's when it gets just I guess the best way you could say is like discombobulated. It was just
weird space noises. For you, weird space noise.
And there's an expression, I believe, so that you can do that obviously with the foot pedal too. But yeah, it was a cool pedal nonetheless, but a total left field considering that Yellow Cake so far has just done like dirt boxes and fuzz pedals.
Yeah.
So check that out.
Cool. Made in Alabama.
Yeah. Just next door neighbor.
Next door neighbor.
As Perry would, I don't say what Perry's joking on is. Anyways, go.
With that,
it's not the internet.
I got a little more time to cruise around the floor today than I did yesterday, and there were a couple things that surprised me. The first surprise was this, when I went to the Fender booth.
Ooh, looking good.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not mind-blowing when you just look at it, but if you guys have already seen this, for you Radiohead fans, or if you know about Radiohead, it's unusual to see them do signature anything. I mean, they don't even, they're so weird about everything. I mean,
they are weird.
I mean, I love them. I love that they're weird, but they put out albums and say, download it for free and paste whatever you want, or they hardly ever talk to guitar magazines, much to our chagrin. And they're just really innovative in that way. But this is a signature model for Ed O'Brien, one of the guitarists in Radiohead.
The weirder of the guitarists.
I don't know. They're both pretty weird. He does more, I think, of the atmospheric stuff in the band. And that explains one of the main features on this is it's got a Fernandez sustainer built into the neck. So it's got a toggle for that, and for those of you who know the sustainer, it's got like 2 or 3 different modes for different harmonic overtone modes. It's got I think it was a JB Junior, a Duncan JB Junior humbucker in the bridge position, and it's I think the middle position one was like a Texas something or other. I don't remember. Master volume, master tone, and then like an intensity. The third tone control, instead of being tone, is actually intensity for the sustainer. Here's the back of it. It's got like this inlay thing on the glare is pretty bad. Sorry guys, but the hill joint plate has like an engraving on it. Sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, it's funny. I walked by that and I saw that EOB and I didn't even think.
Yeah.
What it was.
I mean, it kind of
must be Ed O'Brien.
Yeah, right.
All right, guys. We had a little technical snafu. Lost the live stream feed, but we're back, continuing our conversation about our editor's picks from day 2 of NAMM. I found the specs on the Ed O'Brien Strat from Fender, JB Junior humbucker, Texas Special middle single coil, and Fernandez sustainer, V-shaped neck, blah blah blah, flower of life, neck plate, whatever. It was cool.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Oh, I do.
Do you have a picture this time?
Yeah, I do. I've got a picture. It's a crap picture, though. Total crap. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, in short, I'll tell you, because that crap picture does not say 1,000 words. It was the Magnatone. Magnatone, if they have these Twilight stereo amps, and to stand in front of like actual stereo tremolo, it is like the voice of God, man. It is just so crazy. It almost gives you somewhere between euphoria and
confusion.
Yeah. And,
well, especially the Magnatone tremolo was different.
It's
More discombobulating, kind of like Fuzzrocious, but in a not like that, but
Yellow Cake.
Yeah, it's.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
It is really beautiful. It's a huge sound. So, we were done, and I was walking by, and I saw it, like, ooh man, and I love.
So is this a new?
I think so. I think
what was it called?
The Twilight Stereo Twilight, and it's
the Twilighter.
Yeah, and it's 212.
It's different from the one that's been out for a while.
I think it's a bit. I think it's.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm
this has only
old
been
news.
out for like 5 years, John.
Okay, I'm old news. I'm old news.
Well, it's new to John.
You know what? Okay. So tremolo? Yeah.
Magnatone?
It's this new thing called tremolo in Magnatone.
It's the Neil Young sound.
Okay, man.
Back to the drawing board. You got another one?
Enough of your naysayery. This was a kick-ass.
No, we loved the
Always naysaying.
Yeah, and anyway, it was great, and I loved it. New stuff. Actually, I do have another new thing as well. Wait a minute. Let me find it. It was this. Chris was.
Cusack?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did like that.
Cusack. Oh. Okay.
Which I thought that was kind of a little too out there for you.
No, man.
That hold function.
I'll get out there. Yeah, I mean, I'm old school and new school.
Trippy hippie, man.
Trippy hippie, yeah. Yeah, put me in, man.
Okay, tell us about the tap and delay.
Okay, what I loved about the Cusack tap delay, apparently they had another delay. It was fairly doing pretty well for them. It had some different functions and whatevs. It was cool.
Yeah, they had the tap and delay, and then what they brought and what you showed them was the deluxe.
Yeah.
That was the deluxe. The new one was the deluxe.
What I loved
Tap
about
and delay
that,
deluxe.
there was a magic knob pedal in the middle of the two switches, and you hit that, and it was a hold button. So whatever for the ambionic, to get that ambience behind you, like hit a chord.
Kind of like a shimmer effect.
Yeah.
Hold.
As long as you had your foot on it, it would hold. And they had a setting where it could almost like act as a freeze, or something where it just kind of builds. It was really cool, particularly for like solo guitarists.
And then the back of it, they had a switch that would alternate how that hold would happen. So normally you would hit that, and then you hit it, and it would just blossom.
Yeah.
Whereas if you hit the switch in the back of the pedal, your first note is just ring, and then it reverses how because normally it's hold, boom, and if you do it the other way, it flips it around. It's a very versatile pedal.
Yeah, really cool. And if you hit this other button on it, it would then kind of dive bomb it, kind of go down. It sounded like a half step.
Yeah.
But anyway,
He called it like a note bend. That's what he was.
Yeah,
it's
note
like
bend.
It's just essentially.
That's why you liked it, Mr. B Bender.
Yeah. Right. Maybe that's why I liked it. Yeah, it was just.
It's a digital B Bender.
Yeah, it was very hip. Yeah.
Cool. All right, I got one more. This one, there's like these sections of. There's some of these booths with smaller pedal builders where, you know, there might be. I think at this, there were like 2 booths together, and there were like 42 different pedal companies, smaller ones.
Pedal companies or pedals?
Pedal companies.
42 pedal companies?
Yeah, I have the
Holy
list right
crap.
here.
Don't read it. Don't read the
like,
list.
this is it. This is the list of pedal. Like, see all these?
Did they have stuff from all of those?
They have stuff from all
Actually,
these pedal companies.
Wow.
Yeah. And so the ones, the video we did was with these 3 young guys from Adventure Pedals, which I think the name was like ringing a bell, and I get
What a verb or something like that.
That's one of
I saw
right.
they posted that.
And let me pull that picture up. So, you know, I think it's always fun to like see how creative and clever some of these people can get with pedal names. This was one of the more creative ones I'd come across, and it's called the whatever verb.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I guess I read it too fast.
And there are these 3 guys who kind of were, you know, 2 of them, most I guess they all design pedals, and we went through about 5 or 6 of their pedals there, but this one really stuck out to me because there's 3 modes. There's a toggle switch in the middle. It goes between the modes are called this, that, and other. And then whatever mode you're in, the functions of the knob change. So in one mode, one knob controls the depth and the other one controls the rate. In another mode, it's like a high-pass, low-pass filter. And the third mode, it's like shimmer and volume. And then the 2 other controls is a blend, which can go from all dry to all wet. Which all wet, 100% wet reverb is a pretty fun sound because you know it's not from the guitar. And then there was this warp control, which I don't know enough quite about the internal workings of the pedal to accurately describe technically what's happening, but it just makes it messed up. You know, and they had that hooked to a expression pedal, and they could kind of, you know, move in and out of the weirdness.
And it was the pedals called the whatever.
Whatever.
And what's the company?
Adventure Pedals.
Oh, that's right.
Adventure Pedals. And I asked him, I gotta say, man, I was like, we see a lot of pedal names, and sometimes the really clever ones stick out. And I say, man, this one sticks out to me. And he said, yeah, I didn't think of it. They just posted on their Facebook page, like, hey, we're making a reverb pedal. What should we call it? And somebody came up with this name.
Nice.
And they said, hey, can we use that? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And they sent me the pedal. But it was a lot of their pedals were very like sonically adventure. They had a bunch of different pedals.
I mean, hence the name.
Yeah.
Adventure pedals.
But this one was particularly hit, so I want to give a shout out to those guys.
Cool. Keys, you got another one, or should I go?
I mean, dude, like I shoot videos, so I don't really ever get a chance. It's just
You're
kinda
focusing
like,
on other stuff.
Yeah, so
I'm just trying to focus.
Keeping
I'm
the
just trying
audio.
I'm just trying to keep it
focus.
with bones. It just bounces off of the walls, man. No, I can't really think of anything other than that yellow cake. I mean, there was great stuff. We saw those. That Ed O'Brien was cool, but yeah, I keep jumping off the page.
Their new deluxe, the custom 64 custom hand-wired deluxe reverb sounded awesome.
Oh wow!
It's turret board construction.
Oh, I will say, I will jump in real quick on that. I don't know who was all behind it, but I definitely know his wife was behind it, some of our editors, and definitely some people behind Fender. But this is our publisher, John Levy, and like myself and Jason Shadrick.
Bring it up. Yeah, your other up.
We're all big Cubs fans. John's originally from Chicago, and me and Jason are from Iowa. So, you know, Cubs 2016 was a big year for us.
They had a Cubs.
And we surprised him with his own custom shop. His wife did, but we, as a company.
What?
He got a custom shop Telecaster with sparkle blue cubby. As you can see there,
John
44s.
His wife, Margie,
44.
ordered it like a year ago, I think, and it's...
Well, not a year ago. They just won in October, so...
Wow.
It's been, yeah...
It's since they won the World Series.
Yeah, 9 months.
Wow.
Wow.
Ladies,
So,
take note.
But she started.
Yeah,
the
she
whole
started.
process
But
way
so
back when.
what happened is he came up to the Fender booth. We were there, and him being a Cubs fan, one of the Pauline was like, "Hey, look, check out this Telecaster. We think you'd really like it." Knowing he's a Cubs fan, he digs it. Look at this. He has a tattoo on his arm, which is the same of the Cubby logo at the bottom beneath the bridge. He's showing off his tattoo
John
he has.
is?
Yeah, John has a tattoo of the Cubby bear. And then Pauline's like, check out the back, and she's like, oh, because the blue sparkle is so beautiful. And she's like, look at the neck plate, and the neck plate. Fender Custom Shop, John Levy underneath it. And that's when he knew that it was his guitar.
Man.
So I was there, but I couldn't hear what was being said. We were all, I think we got him there under the premise that there was like some problem or something. And
he'll jump to it if there's a problem.
so at first he thought that was just something they made.
Yeah.
Not for, wow.
No,
Okay.
he thought
he
he didn't realize it until he turned
model.
around and they pointed out the neck plate, and then he's
That's
like,
when he hugged his wife.
Oh,
So
man.
that
was
not
cool.
being, I'm a Telecaster fan and a Cubs fan. It's not my guitar, but it was cool to see that happen, and that Margie, his wife, and Fender family and everyone else got that together for him.
It was really cool,
That was cool.
And we did a cool interview with Justin Meldau Johnson about his new Mustang bass, which is really funny. He's a funny dude. He does some cool bass tapping in the video.
Cool.
But,
Sweet.
Yeah.
So one of the other surprises of this show was, you guys who know Ovation guitars probably know that over the last year or two there's been some weirdness, like it's changed hands ownership wise, and I think completely out of production for a bit, right?
Which one are you talking about?
Ovation.
Yeah, that.
So when I saw them here, like they have this big, like they relaunched the brand, this big, really cool, comfy looking booth. It's like a nice living room.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to go hang out in there.
You definitely want to take a nap.
Shag carpeting, comfy couch.
And then I saw this guitar, which is an Adamas. It's called the Viper. And of course, Ovation, gosh, this latency in the signal is messing me up. So it's a chambered single cut with a what do you call it? Aluminized top. It's a basswood chambered body. There's an aluminum like acoustic an aluminum bridge like on their acoustics. It's got lace alumatone humbuckers, and you can't see it that great in the photo, but I thought a really nice touch was on the neck inlays, or these aluminum bars that like complement or mimic the lace pickups. I did not get to hear it, but it was pretty striking to see in person. The headstock is pretty cool, I think, and so that was cool.
Side note to that, when I did the video with them yesterday, they're bringing back the Glenn Campbell Bluebird Electric.
That's right, it was there, and
we did the video.
there's only
on
like
that yesterday.
one of them, right? They told anyway.
There's a 6 and a 12 string.
I asked them, and they're like, "These are the only ones that are going to be."
Oh. Okay.
Did you play that one? The one I just showed, the Adamas?
No, they didn't play that one in the video. No.
Okay. I have one more. If anyone else doesn't have some.
Go for it.
This is like we're talking about, or I've been talking a lot about sort of legacy brands, and when you talk about or think about like classic basses, everyone thinks, of course, of like Fender, Jazz, or P basses, or Rickenbackers, or whatever. But I think one really cool, not as celebrated old bass is Yamaha's BB bass. They're like big, fat. I think they're really cool looking, in a different way, basses. And but even though they go way back, they've kind of come and gone over the last few years. I think they sort of relaunched them a little bit a couple years ago, but all they had was like an entry-level one and then like a $2,500 one. At this show, they brought back like a whole line that's like 4 different series. The entry-level ones are like $299. Then there's this one I just showed you is a 5-string Japanese-made one, but it's only $1,500, and it sounded awesome. Even we did a demo video with them, and they didn't have a bass amp, but they plugged it into their THR guitar amp, and it sounded awesome. It sounded better than bass amps, actually. So I was impressed. It sounded really good.
It's a pretty
it looked
hardcore
cool.
bass, too.
Yeah. So, I don't know, you guys got any others, or should we let people go?
If you're in Nashville and you actually watch us in the time being that,
live,
currently, or at least within the next 24 to, I guess, less than
That's a couple of hours.
Yeah, come see Bollinger and come to our booth. It's public day.
Public
Come
day.
hang out.
Well,
What are
and
you waiting
if
for?
you're in town just in the next couple of hours, you
We're
might be
having
able
a
to get
party
into a party we're sponsoring at, what's the name of the place? The Tap
Little
Room?
Harpeth.
Little Harpeth
Little Harpeth.
Brewery.
We got a couple of bands playing there.
Diarrhea Planet.
It'll be a
And
blast.
Craig Brown.
Craig Brown.
Craig
Brown.
Brown. Yeah, we'll be there in a couple of hours. So
Jason will buy you a beer.
come see us. We will.
I'll use Keys' card. Close tab.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Later.
See ya.
Oh, come back tomorrow.
Yeah, come back.
We'll have another editor's pick session. Adios.